What's up, everybody? All right, guys. So last month I did a video where I talked about the cards that had gone up the most over the last couple of months, and people seem to like it, so I figured I'd do another one. This is just looking at cards from April 15th to May 15th and cards that are in my collection. So there's certain cards that obviously are not in my collection, so I'm not doing that analysis on them. But it's amazing, some of the cards I'm going to show you guys. By the way, I'm wearing this shirt that says, "It's a trap."
47. It's a trap.
Yeah, so I asked for this shirt 3 Christmases in a row, and I finally got it. But speaking of "it's a trap," see the segue I did there? Don't get trapped in the overhyped machine that is right now the 80s baseball cards, because it's basically a trap. Cards have just gone like tripled, and I'll show you guys in a second some of the cards. But just to give you guys some examples, this Griffey was one of the first cards to take off. At one point in late April, was selling for $1,700 in a PSA 10. It's now going pretty regularly for around $1,300, so it's plateaued. You guys remember this guy? Harold Baines, when he got into the Hall of Fame, just this card in a PSA 9 was going for like $40 to $50. Now you can get it for $12. But that's just basically, you know, what you're going to see. Cards are going to go crazy. But one thing to keep an eye on, one thing that, you know, in terms of buying 80s cards, one of the things that this may sound random, one of the things that I would recommend taking a very close look at is over the next 2 weeks, Rob Manfred said that it's going to be the most important weeks in determining whether they're going to have baseball or not this season. So the owners have a proposal that they're going to present to the players, and that will then determine whether we have baseball this season. So the reason why that's important is because I think that if baseball happens this season, once we see baseball again, people are going to then focus from 80s cards back to the modern cards again. And then, you know, some guy is going to take off, like maybe Giancarlo Stanton will hit 5 home runs in a week, and the guy that you forgot about it, and I know you guys forgot about Stanton, will then all of a sudden everyone will be back on that crazy train again, and then those cards will get overhyped, and then the 80s cards will go down in value. However, if we do not have baseball this season, and I don't know what the odds are of whether we're going to have it or not, but over the next 2 weeks, we may start to get an inkling that this just is never going to happen. Like if you got more guys like Blake Snell that they don't want to risk their health because they, you know, for a half a paycheck, and we don't have a season this year, I think that it's possible that 80s cards continue to rise in value because there's nothing else to kind of pay attention to, and people are thinking back to when they were kids during much simpler times. And you know, what better to look back at some of the cards that you collected as a kid. So that's sort of something to kind of pay attention to. But anyway, here are the top 20 cards that are up in value from April 15th to May 15th that are in my collection. All right, guys. So 2 cards that I own that absolutely would be on my list if I had them in a PSA 10. I just wanted to point out that I don't have like high grade versions of them. First off, this Sammy Sosa in a PSA 10 is now going for almost $300. And over the last month has absolutely taken off because of the Mcgwire Sosa documentary. And then the other card that's really taken off is a card that, you know, I always looked at as a high-end common, which is it's probably buried somewhere in my commons. I know I have a 1990 score factory set, but the Bo Jackson from the 1990 score set is now going for like $225 or something like that. It's crazy that, you know, that is a card that, like I said, I always thought of as a high-end common, and now in a PSA 10 is going for over $200. I can't even wrap my head around that. But anyway, so to start off, at number 20 in my collection, cards that have gone up from April 15th to May 15th. This was an $1,100 card in April, is now going for around $1,800, the 93 Topps Gold. That is a 60% increase. Next up is the 83 Topps Traded Darryl Strawberry, which was going for 125 in April and is now going for 210 in May. And, you know, I don't think we'll ever see anything like this ever again. So it's kind of fun while it lasts. But look at this. The Roger Clemens, I think it's all kind of related to the documentary coming out. But this card in a PSA 10 was going for $810 in April and is now selling in May for about $1,400. Can you? It's insane. At number 17, how about the Frank Thomas card? Unfortunately, I don't own this in a PSA 10, but I do own this in a BGS 9, which in April was going, you can pick it up for like $23, is now going for $40, and that is a 73% increase. By the way, these are 100% are totally based on percentage increases. So it's not based on the dollar value, but the percentage increase. So this one's up 74%. At number 16, this Jordan, to no surprise because of the documentary, these were going for $2,700 in a PSA 6, and I just saw one sold in a PSA 6 that's perfectly centered like this one for $5,000. That is a 85% increase in 1 month. By the way, I had a couple of people mention that they think that I should crack this out. Part of the reason why I bought this, I actually paid a premium for this card because of the way it looks. And I definitely recommend, if you're going to pick up a Jordan rookie, try to pick up an aesthetically great looking card. I could have got the same thing in a PSA 7 for the same price, but I decided to go for this in a PSA 6, which in my opinion is the way to go. All right. At number, let's see what we at. Number 15 is the Barry Bonds Topps Traded card in a PSA 10. I don't have the Tiffany. I noticed that Filmington picked up 2 or maybe 3 or 4 of them, which was a great buy. Barry Bonds Topps Traded in a PSA 10 went from $160 to $304 in that short period of time. I mentioned this in a recent video, the Mike Trout 2012 Topps Opening Day. People just are getting priced out of the 2011 Topps Update card, and this card, the 2012, like the second year card, has gone from a $50 card to a $100 card in a 1 month period. So that's a 100% increase. Next up, the 86 Flir Update Barry Bonds in a PSA 10. This has gone from a $125 card to a $255 card, so a $130 increase. The 89 Upperdeck Randy Johnson, I've been talking a lot about this particular card, gone from a $60 card to a $135 card. And then at number 11 is the 87 Donruss Bo Jackson in a PSA 10, has gone from, let's see, a $61 card to a $140 card. That is a 129.51% increase in 1 month, guys. And that's at number 11. I still got 10 more to go. All right, at number 10 is the 89 Flir Griffey in a PSA 10. This has gone from, let's see, a $72 card to selling regularly for $180. And that is a 150% increase. This Cal Ripken, I wish I had a 10 of this. I don't. PSA 9 has gone from a $165 card. You guys ready for this? Is now selling for $431. That's a 161% increase in 1 month. And that is at number 9. At number 8, the Griffey traded in a PSA 10 has gone from a $52 card to a $140 card. That's an $88 increase. The Bo Jackson cards are just taking off. 87 Topps Tiffany in a PSA 10 has gone from a $160 card to a $455 card. That's a 184% increase. So these cards are tripling in value. And then how about this? The A-Rod. A-Rod SP, this is at a PSA 8. I had to submit this twice to PSA because I think the first time they gave it that it was trimmed, but it wasn't. So In April, you could have bought this card for $35. It is now selling for about $100. That is a 220% increase. All right, and the top five cards. And I got one pretty big surprise in here, which is kind of a joke, but 86 Donruss Jose Canseco at number 5. This has gone from a $200 card. I'm reading these numbers and I almost feel like I'm like seeing things. This card is going for $641. 641. So this card is now up 220% since April 15th. So in 1 month, okay. At number 4 is the Pedro Martinez. And I mentioned, again, this card in a recent video. You could have gotten this for under $50 in April. Is now going for $150. That is a 275% increase. So this card has quadrupled in a 1 month period. How about this card? And it's amazing. I mean, this is a percentage increase at number 3. This is a card that you could have gotten for $1,875 in April and is now going, and I just saw this morning, this card sold for $7,100. A $1,875 card went from to $7,100. 200 what is that? 278%. What is going on, guys? And then 2 more cards, and this is what I wanted to put this at number 1 just because I thought it was hilarious. The Brian Taylor Topps Gold. I picked this up. By the way, I did a video 2 years ago where I did the biggest busts of all time, and I picked this card up only so I could do it for the video. This card I picked up for $20, which I overpaid for. But you could have gotten this, earlier this year for $10. There was a PSA 10 that sold for $100 on a Brian Taylor. $100 for a PSA 10 Brian Taylor, guys. Like, people are losing their minds. So, and I guess what I'm saying here is this is let's say if it goes for a PSA 10, $100, let's say this is a $75 card and a BGS 9.5 10 auto. So that would be a 650% increase from $10 to $75. And then finally, at number 1, this shouldn't come as a surprise if you guys have been paying attention. The number 1 card in terms of increase from April to May is the Mcgwire 85 Topps. You could have gotten this one for $41 in April. It is going for as high as $335 over the last couple of days. And this isn't even a PSA 10, guys. This is a PSA 9. I wish I had the Tiffany, which I had always had my eyes on. Never got around to buying it. Now I definitely won't be buying it. But there you have it, guys. Great time to sell. And if you have the means, great time. Why not sell a couple of these kind of cards and buy yourself a Hank Aaron rookie or something crazy? The thing is, I'll be holding on to these cards just because I kind of enjoy the ups and downs and kind of the memories behind these. But plus, I think longer term, these could be good, good values to hold on to. But anyway, things are crazy out there right now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you later.